There's nothing more insufferable in the world of sports than the opinion of an MMA superfan, whose only experience with mixed martial arts begins and ends with them being choked out by a bouncer at a bar. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the show. Back in October was UFC 321, and I was watching it with my buddy Robert, who's new to the world of MMA. We made a deal that if he were to start getting into UFC, I would become a Buffalo Bills fan. So now I'm a Bills fan, and I grew up a Patriots fan, so you can imagine how painful that is. But the fight that I was hyping up for him, it didn't go well, because Tom Aspinall's opponent, Gain, decided to take a page out of the book of Jon Jones and lead with the fingers, inevitably resulting in an eye poke. And if you are in the world of MMA, no doubt you've already heard about this. If you never heard about that and you're not in the world of MMA, I want you to take a guess on who the MMA community took their anger out on. I'm going to give you a hint. It wasn't the guy who did the illegal eye poke. Now, before this fight, you would have a better chance with betting on the Jets than finding a Tom Aspinall hater. With that being said, the Jets should be going to the fucking Super Bowl right now with how many haters Tom Aspinall has right now. Because to the MMA community, you might as well have just walked into the center of the ring, pulled your shorts down like Derek Lewis, exposed your taint to the entire crowd, rub some peanut butter on your balls, have some dogs come in the ring and lick it off, all while screaming you love getting off to Love on the Spectrum. That would be more recoverable to your career than just losing one fight in the UFC. I know at some point the shit that I say on here is going to get clipped out of context, and that's going to obliterate any chance I have for getting hired with a potential future employer. So at this rate, I'm going to have no potential future employers, so this shit better work out. Anyways, sports superfans are among God's most forgotten people, and MMA superfans are among the devil's most forgotten. Because the level of hate that a fighter will get for even daring to get old is ridiculous. You can have a fighter with a generational run, but the second that their age starts to show, they don't have that much pep in their step, their knees a little hurt, they're washed. They're washed. Oh, they must suck. They must have always sucked. In fact, they're trash. They were always trash, and I knew they were trash long before the hype. They were overrated. They were being thrown softball fighter after softball fighter. Look at their track record of fighters. They're not fighting the best of the best. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You typing away on your phone from the porcelain throne with your cheetah dust covered fingers, with your liver on the verge of failure from your gluttonous consumption of Bud Light. Drink fucking anything else. Don't you love yourself? Meanwhile, anyone that steps in that ring, and they could be among the worst in UFC history, would still send you to Christ if they wanted to. Now, I've noticed this behavior in the MMA community ever since I originally got into the sport. But recently, Tom Aspinall just posted like an update with his doctor talking about his eye, and all I noticed in the comments was people going like, yeah, we get it, buddy, you're injured. Like, Tom Aspinall's eye is potentially permanently damaged, and the community cannot give him a break. And as I was editing this video, I just realized they announced that Tom Aspinall has Brown syndrome. Yeah. And I get it. It's a hard sport. You got harder fans. It's a part of the game. And I'm going to be honest, even though super fans annoy the living shit out of me, they're fucking funny. Yeah, they got good jokes, but my God, they're relentless. It doesn't help when you get people like Jon Jones, who's had a feud with Tom Aspinall for a while, change his profile picture on his social media to a duck with an eye patch. Not only to poke fun of him, no pun intended, for his eye, but if you don't know, the whole reason as to why his icon is a duck in the first place, and it's been a duck for a while, is because everybody accuses Jon Jones of ducking Tom Aspinall, which arguably he has been. Actually, not even arguably, he has been. So he decided to take that as a shield of armor and embrace it. Props to him, though, for that. I mean, fuck him, but props to him. But because of Jon Jones's many controversies, he's figured out how the community works, and he knows how to take the criticism well, and that's why he embraced it with the duck. And the fans, they loved it. If Tom Aspinall doesn't realize that if he shows, at least publicly to the community, that this negative persona of him now is brewing, that it bothers him, there'll be sharks that smell blood in the water, and it's only going to get worse, and they're really going to turn on him more than they already have. So Tom ended up lashing out against his fan base, and they're just going to attack him even harder now. And then people bring up, oh, what about Sarah Bullet, who's missing an eye? Yeah, he's a Russian Muslim from Dagestan, which is like the scariest human being that can exist. Yeah, he lost his eye because he ignored medical treatment from an infection as a result of an injury. And yes, even with just one eye, he's incredibly lethal, but he already lost it. Like, Tom is going through the injury. His eye was poked in the middle of a fight. A doctor examined him and forced a stoppage. In that update video where he was talking with his doctor about his eye, he still can't see out of it. Tom Aspinall still has a chance to regain his vision, and any rational person, aside from Sarah, which would do whatever they could to get their vision back. And that includes, I don't know, not getting hit in the fucking head during a fight. So yeah, the fight was stopped because of a no contest. He's not training. He's not going to fight until his eyes made a full recovery. When I was in college, we were drunk, and I had a high-powered Nerf gun, and you can already guess where this is going. My friend had the Nerf gun. It shoots at like 150 FPS, and he was standing across the room, and he fired, and it went directly into my fucking eye. And that hurt more than the breakup I had a month before that. So my eye was very blurry, hurt like a son of a bitch, and I gave the dude a hug, and, it was an accident. We went to bed, and I woke up the next morning, and when the light came into my eye, I wanted to rip it out. I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm not the type to go to the hospital over any little thing. I've only been to the hospital a few times in my life, and one time was for my appendicitis, which you might have heard before. I think I've told this story a few times, but I didn't think it was what it was. I tried to gaslight my doctor into giving me laxatives. I genuinely thought I just really needed shit. That's a different story. But as for my eye, they looked into the back of it and they could see a little bit of blood, and they told me that my retina was on the verge of detaching. And that's just from a Nerf gun. High-powered Nerf gun, but a Nerf gun. Imagine Gain, who is by all accounts a giant hairless bear, full force, coming at you like this. Literally like that virtual insanity meme. And they told me that I should not lift anything above like 20 pounds for 6 months. Like 3 months later, I was deadlifting again, but it took a while it did take a bit for it to heal. And it was, for a while, I could not look outside without sunglasses on. Say, the eye is no joke. It's a very fragile part of your body, completely exposed. It's a part of your brain. Your eye is an extension of your brain, and fun fact, it has its own immune system. So at any moment, your body can just go, what the fuck is that? And just kill your eyes. So the MMA community is just ruthless. Fucking ruthless. To the point where it's pathetic. Like, these guys are putting their bodies and their brains on the line for your entertainment. At least show a little bit of respect. Like, the way I've heard professional fighters explain it before is that they only have X amount of fights. And they have to do what they can to maximize how many fights they can perform. So they only have so many fights in them before they have nothing left to give. And for a lot of people, that's just not enough. When a fighter is past their prime, it's almost like an oiled up Dana White just appears out of nowhere and flashbangs the whole MMA community, and they just forget about that fighter's entire dominant past. And apparently Tom and Dana White are beefing over the situation now. It's too late. I'm too tired. I don't give a fuck. I work tomorrow. And it's not just MMA. It's every sport. It's just really egregious in MMA. But in football, for example, you listen to some of these superfans talk about, like, a poor performance from a player as if they were on the team the previous season before. Like, I get it. They're upset that it's going to affect their fantasy shit, and I really only truly get it if you got money on the line. But they're talking like they were on the team. And in MMA, it's so much worse, especially when a fight goes to the mats. Oh my God. People lose their mind when a fight goes to the mat, and in like the first 2 seconds, if an elbow or a fist isn't thrown, boo, it's, I get it. It might be boring to you if you don't really understand what's going on, but you're watching MMA, not kickboxing, not boxing, MMA, mixed martial arts. Grappling is a part of the fucking sport. You're not held to watching only UFC. But I will concur that they do need to update the point scoring system when it comes to grappling. So the meta right now is just hold a bastard and win by control time, minimizing as much damage to your body as possible so you can fight next month. So I get the frustration, but if you really watch it and you understand it, you realize what's going on is a very intricate chess match where every move is carefully planned. And when you're grappling, when your opponent makes a slight adjustment, that can be the world of difference between you getting choked out in a few seconds or you countering them and getting out of the position. And I do get, it's at its most boring when somebody's just getting pressed up against the cage or they're just being laid on. Yeah, I get it. It's boring, but if you understand and appreciate the art of it and what both of the fighters are trying to accomplish, even though it doesn't seem like a whole lot, there's like little micro movements that do mean a lot. It's boring. I get it. But it is a part of the sport, and it is important. Yes, they should change the point scoring system to deter the abuse of it, because it is pretty egregious right now. But yeah, that's my gripe with the MMA community. It annoys the living fuck out of me. I love the community, though. Absolutely love it. I love them like a little brother. They annoy the shit out of me, but I love them to death. That's all I really want to talk about for this. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day for watching. I hope to see you in the next one, and I love you guys.